we could do both. It won't take long. Yeah.
I think Sal's got the PO on these chairs. Who we get these chairs from? Chair store.
It's called the Order of Seawall Community Redevelopment Agency Board Meeting, Tuesday, November 25th, 2025. We'd like to invite circulated fields for the invocation.
So, Father, we just want to give you thanks, first of all. We come together for the decisions that have to be made tonight for the city and for redevelopment. So we just thank you that you give us wisdom. We can work together as a team for the better for the city. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, have roll, please.
Chairman John Eric Hoover,
Here.
Vice Chairman Chris Mayer,
Here.
Member Robert Hubbard,
Here.
Member Lisa Burke,
Here.
Member Christine Sullivan, here. City Attorney Nancy Meyer, here. City Manager Andrew Butterfield.
Here. Thank you. Okay, first up, we got a set of board minutes. I need a motion to approve the November 12th, 2025 CRA Board minutes.
Motion to approve the November 12th, 2025 board minutes.
Second. I have motion second. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next up is comments from the general public. I have one signed up. Danny Fields. Welcome. Oh, wait, this is CRA. Were you going to talk? Or?
Well, I'm here. I thought that was the other one. I just was used to 6 o'clock one, but yeah, so I'm up here. My name's Danny Fields, 8114, little kid. Yes, redevelopment and stuff for the city and stuff like that. We're on the right page. We're just moving forward for everything that's on the agenda, not only in this meeting, but the 6 o'clock meeting. So we can't do it without each other and the budget and everything that we have to plan ahead, and that's what I see you guys doing: planning, networking, and doing everything you need to do to work in the community and work for development, and everything that we're doing. So thank you. I was kind of a little caught off guard tonight. I was coming in at 6 o'clock, and that's so, but I'm on the other part. But either way, this is going to be a great meeting. I will listen, I will learn, and I will continue to work together with you guys. Thank you.
Thanks, Danny. That's all signs I have. Anybody else like to speak? Okay. Seeing none, bring back to comments from the city manager. I pass it over to Mr. Butterfield for his comments.
Nothing, sir. Just looking forward to these two items of business to discuss tonight.
Okay. Good. Moving on to board business. Item number 2, US 19 median landscaping and design approval. Kimley Horn and Associates, Inc. I'll pass that to Mr. Butterfield for introduction.
Yes, sir. This is the contractor we've engaged for a grant we received from the DOT, FDOT, for $450,000, and you can use up to 10,000 or 10% of the funds for design. So we engaged Kimley Horn for design. We had several bids, and theirs looked the most promising and cost-effective. Kept us under that 10%.
Okay. Thank you. So that'll open up to a motion and a discussion.
Go ahead. I was going to talk.
No, I'm in charge of this part.
You're the button.
See the mic.
Yeah, go ahead.
Good. So we're going to drop 45 G's for design. Is that right? 10%?
I think that's the number that came in. Yes, sir. 45,000.
I mean, here's my question. Is it just a standard? You're like, yeah, sure, we'll pay $45,000 to anybody who wants to design stuff on our roadways. I'm just wondering if that's really just a standard thing, or
no, there were other bids that came in higher than that, and so we would have to pay the delta between 45 and whatever their numbers were out of other funds.
So there's multiple bids.
There was multiple bids.
Gotcha,
Yes.
okay. I'm just trying to understand that part of it. And would they give us a design? I mean, right now we're just giving them the money to give us the design, right? And is that how it works?
They're just what? I'm sorry, sir.
We're giving them $45,000 to give us a design.
To design the project, what to do with the funds we got from it.
So keep in mind, so the city received a $450,000 grant, and it allows up to 10% of that, which is $45,000 of the grant money to pay for design. So what this basically is we've got $45,000 design option the grant's going to cover that. So we're not spending any money.
No. I'm just trying to understand where our money's going, what we're doing with them. Even though it's a grant, it's not free money. It's
Right.
money that we're using to better.
Money we have to use for this, and 10% of that is.
Do we
for-
have any input with them on design? I mean, for me, I've seen design done that's like a maintenance nightmare, and I've seen design done that lasts for 10 years with very little maintenance. Is there any input that we have on that at all?
We can tell them to focus on the medians or the edges of the road between the sidewalks and that part. Yes,
Or all the above?
I mean, we should give them direction on what we think we're keen for.
So we either get medians or the side roads, that's it?
No.
That's incorrect. The direction was for the medians. The RFP was they provided RFPs for the median design, not
For the center.
for the center medians. Yes,
That's why in these cities you see them put up palm trees and start watering it and stuff like that, right?
right.
Okay.
But we'll have direct input. We're going to have workshops with the designer, tell them what they want. Daryl will be sitting on that, so will Derek. So the three of us will be sitting with the designer as this moves forward.
Okay. Yeah, I don't want to see something that is like every year they got to get out there and tear up the mulch and that crazy kind of stuff. I want to hit something that's more.
Something resilient.
Yeah, something that looks natural but like lasts forever.
That's the kind of input we can give them, like xeriscaping. We'd like to have it non-water needing for water or something else.
We want to push for Florida friendly, xeriscaping, possibly crushed shell as opposed to mulch, because mulch, anytime it rains, it'll wash out. So there's a lot of direct input that we want to provide to this design, and then of course maintenance is a concern, because as of right now, Public Works goes out there in the middle of 19,
I saw them picking up trash today.
with no protection, with very little protection. And at any time, an accident can happen. So we want to try and limit that as much as possible.
Sure. Okay.
Is there a reason why the other bids wasn't presented to council so we could review them with you? Or is that typical? You just picked the one you wanted?
I'm not sure.
Four packets were evaluated based on the amount of time that they had. Me, myself, Derek Smith, and Daryl Rose went ahead and evaluated all four companies. We evaluated them based on the amount of years that they do this kind of work, their location, experience. The price was a factor. Couldn't be a complete factor because you just can't judge engineers on price alone, but that was a factor. And this was the one that came in the highest of our evaluations.
Thanks.
Yeah, wouldn't it be normal procedure though to show the rest of the bids? With staff as recommending this one, but we'd be able to see the rest of the bids as well.
Before, anytime we presented bids, our branding and wayfinding, we just had the one company, so we didn't present other ones to council or the CRA board at that time. So, we can do that, but
Well, I think again, we can't. We've got a choice of one, right? We haven't seen the other ones, although you're saying they're cheaper. But I think probably going forward, we should probably see all the bids and what staff recommends, just so we have visibility on what the other bids were.
that's fine. We can do that going forward.
Branding and wayfinding, we did have choices because we saw all the companies when we did that, right?
Right.
I don't want to micromanage these guys. But how many medians do we have in the city of Port Richey? $45,000 is a lot of money to tell me I want a green one over there and a little bit of rock over there. Hey, $45,000.
Did they say it's 45 grand? They said they can pay 10%. So that doesn't necessarily mean the bid was 45.
If you give me a moment, I'll give you the prices if you'd like to know. The only other company that came in was $37,000, was Florida Design Consultants. The other two were, another one was over $100,000 for Stantec, and do you recall the fourth one? I have to look it up.
Stantec was 100 G's.
Yes, they were over $100,000 to design it, and the other company was also, I think, between $70,000 and $80,000. I can look up for the exact amounts if you give me a moment, but the only two that came in within the price range of us not having to spend any more money, because per the grant we get 10%. So out of $450,000, we're allowed up to $45,000. So Kimley Horn, as their price, put in $45,000.
I appreciate
Knowing
that.
knowing the parameters of the grant, that's what they bid it. Florida Design Consultants bid it in the ballpark of $38,000. But same thing. With those two, you have it. Thank you. What was the fourth one?
Florida Design KCI,
79, right? That one.
79.9.
79,000 was the other bid. So
So especially if there was one for 37, 38, which is cheaper, I would hope that we would see that one at least.
Well-
I think we should see them all.
once again, I mean, this, staff evaluated them based on just not, we're presenting staff's recommendation.
Sure.
If the board wants to go back and see the other one, that's fine, and we could push this off, and so you could see the other one. But this was staff's recommendation due to the evaluation sheets that was part of the bid that said that an evaluation committee, which was the three of us, would evaluate each of these proposals on. So that's why we do this process. That's part of the process.
Could you expand on for the board the difference between this proposal 45 and the 37,000, 38, whatever the one that was competing?
Not right now, not offhand. I'd have to go dig into that and bring you that information. I don't have the evaluation sheets with me. I didn't bring them, and they're not part of the packet.
It was a scoring mechanism, I guess. And
That's
right. Was it close, or was it?
They were all very close, actually. And like I said, it's not. Stantec, once again, they are a good, they're good, a good engineering firm, and they provided, their product looked really good. But unfortunately, as far as the scope is priced, that just wasn't, wasn't in the ballpark, and so was the other company for $78,000. So, but the thing is that I know the board is looking at this as far as price, but this is a reimbursable grant. We're going to get it all back. If we pay 37 or 45, we're going to get it all back anyway.
Is it in addition to the 450 or did it come
No,
out
it's
of the 450?
included.
Part of it.
It's included.
So it's really, the more money we pay them, the less we
The less you
put
have
on
to
our
use
ranch.
actually to do the work.
Yeah.
Yes, that's correct. So
I don't want to beat them up over $7,000. I don't ever go with the lowest guy anyway. The lowest guy is normally the guy to get to go back and, redo his work. So these guys made a decision. I'm okay with the decision they made. I don't think we need to stir it up too much.
is that a motion?
I think I'll make a motion to approve based on the information at hand to accept
I'll second that.
Kelly and Clark or whatever. What's the name of the company? Kimberly Horn. Yeah.
I got a motion. I got Bob second. Any further discussion? Any public comment? Devin, welcome.
Devin Aaron, 5414 Bay Boulevard. I was, just being, Floridian and growing up here and all that, seeing what they put in these medians, like out here, you can almost kill yourself just pulling out of here. I mean, with these like bushes, the county comes in and they just lop them off and then they regrow, and it's craziness. And down in Newport Richey, they put in these full grown trees, and they're so expensive, and they die because they're transplanting them. And I'm not sure everybody knows what different palm trees are and stuff, but cabbage palms are a pain in the butt, and they're our state tree and stuff. But these palm trees on our city logo, and those aren't cabbage palms. And there's cleaner palm trees that look better, that are less maintenance and things like that, like foxtails. I like foxtails. They're real nice. And we don't.
One that's got three things coming out of it.
They can
Okay.
something like that at the nurseries to do that, but you can get singles and stuff. But something that doesn't obstruct the view, so you can actually see what's going on, and just little things like that. And the low maintenance thing is really a good idea. I'm actually amazed. Like, I know Daryl's smart enough to get in there and just be like, all right, we're gonna put in 100 trees and throw some lime rock down or something. I know you like lime rock. And get done with it, and move on with it. I'm just throwing that out there because, down in Newport Richey, on 19, they put in all these cabbage palms, and they're another one, they're dying, and they're just, there's a million cabbage palms. Like, we want something that looks, when you pull into Port Richey and you see, the more tropical trees, it gives it a vibe, it gives it a thing. So something to think about. I'm not sure how the input process goes for that, but that's just something to think about.
Devin, I agree. The bushes over here, the people at the gym, the owner says there's like multiple times a day there's almost a crash out there because those bushes block you when you pull out. You can't see anything.
Right here in front of City Hall. I mean, I'm like, I almost got hit a couple times. I'm like, golly. So anyways, thank you.
We can sign you up for the workshop then, right?
Sure.
Just so before I put it to vote, any other public comment? Okay, see, and I'll bring it back. Before we vote, a couple things on that. So when they do their design, I assume that they'll have everything laid out, what they're going to do as they meet with staff. Will that come back to council for us to preview before we approve that?
Yes, there'll be board input as we move forward, and part of that was to include a public workshop.
Okay.
To get together public input on that, because we wanted to do that. So as we design these, it's pretty much what everyone wants to see.
Sure.
Just very similar to what we did with the parks last week.
Okay, and then the second question I had was, as far as once we move forward with a design and they actually put that stuff there, does it, uh, would they be doing that or just doing a design? So it'd be another contractor, I guess.
It goes back out to bid for construction.
And I assume in that contract, there would be some kind of guarantee that, they put something that didn't die a year later, or being a couple months later, there's probably some kind of.
Per the agreement, they have to provide at least a 1 year.
Okay.
1 year of coverage. So if any of the plants they die within that first year, they got to replace them. That's part of the agreement.
Cool.
So.
Thanks.
Mayor, I have seen in some other cities down 19 here where they're drilling water lines under the road to get water to those medians to water them, because in
Right.
Florida, stuff that's not watered eventually dies.
Right.
It just does.
Mayor, if I may.
Yeah, sure.
Just want to assure it's a professional process, not willy-nilly or just me randomly picking. But that said, on this case, it sounded like there's a motion to vote on this, but in the future, do you want me to change our policy so the council sees, say, the top 5 bids or the top 3 bids or all the bids?
I think all viable bids should be presented. You can definitely make a recommendation from staff as you guys have, but just so we had public visibility of what came in as well as the council. I think that'd be good practice. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay. Any other discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next up, item number 3, SC Signature Limestone Drive Pier Demolition / Seawall Reconstruction and ADA Ramp. I'll pass it to Mr. Butterfield for an
Yes, sir. SC Signature was responsible for the pier demo before my time here, but I've gone out and seen the work and the seawall reconstruction on the south side of the river, and beautiful ADA ramp there. And there's an issue of there probably should have been a change order request to do some extra work. There are some mitigating circumstances. They were working at night. They were fighting tides and doing middle of the night low king tides, that sort of thing. So nothing nefarious, but needed to come back for council to consider paying for the extra work that was accomplished, which again was done well, was needed, but there was a step, in my understanding, that got missed. So that's what I have on that.
All right. Thanks. So I'll open up the floor. Motion and discussion.
Sure. The gentleman's here from SC. Is here from SC. My initial look was like, wow, you know what I mean? But then I started looking at all the work they did, and it was a substantial amount of work that they had done.
Yep.
Reputable company, local company. My only question is, because I see the amount of work that went in there, and it was incredible, the amount of work that you did to turn that into what it is right now. And I greatly appreciate that. But when you estimate a job, this is just for my knowledge, how do we underestimate $48,000? Yeah, please do. And I'm not taking a shot at you. I'm just trying to learn something.
Yeah, Joseph Matisek, SC Signature Construction, 8504 Airway Boulevard, Newport Richey. So originally when we bid the job, based on the circumstances of what was being done and the work being done, the demolition of the existing pier and of underneath it. As we proceeded, of course, had to be done at a low tide. As we proceeded to work on it and so forth, the extent of the work became much more involved. As far as the bulkhead on the front, the seawall, the lime rock was deteriorating. We were only to do a 20-foot section in between the two walls. What we ended up excavating out was much more than 18 inches. We really didn't have a dredge permit. So when the first task that we did it, trying to get everything out of there, we weren't as successful to get it down deep enough, actually to be more excavated than the lower tide. So when we came back and worked in the evenings, extreme low tide, to get the excavation out, we took out much more. Of course, we had some, found out there was, we had a call before you dig, but nobody ever said that there was a 8-inch water main underneath there. So, that kind of stopped everything for a little bit. Daryl was able to help us and get us some as-built to what was there or whatever. Thank God we never hit it. Would have been, the death of us, Signature in the city and so forth. But the work entailed twice as much work, dealing with the engineers, speaking back and forth with them as design. They actually told me, well, can you get you my own engineer to do the seawall? And so we do this every day, no problem. Made a phone call, got our engineering. We built a whole new seawall and a whole new bulkhead in the front. So the work kind of escalated and doubled, along with the excavation out, taking the pier out, hauling it out, rebuilding it, and then, it's the end of the road, Limestone there. So building after we got as-built on it, they came back and wanted the handicap ramp there and the bollards and.
That on the other side of the water, on Newport Richie side of the water?
No, that's on this side here.
On our side, behind Catches.
Actually, no, this would be on the Newport Richie side then, I guess it would be. Is that Limestone there, your side?
Right.
Richie side.
Right.
So it got more involved. Mike is here on behalf of Signature also, who is handling the job, working with Tony, the inspector here and so forth, and we were trying to be in communication with Sal on it. We work a lot with the municipalities in the local area and so forth, and doing all this marine work and other things being in the construction. We always want to do the right thing for, our communities. But yes, it did escalate or whatnot, and trying to, we did send in a change order, for the extra work that was being done. And we were moving forward. We were dealing with tides too.
I understand. Yeah.
So.
All right. Just trying to understand, educate myself.
Mm-hmm. It was a little drug out. We were dealing with tides and some changes of what happened, to expedite the work.
Did we ever get the whatever was raised that Bob was working on?
But yeah, on that subject, you guys did a lot of work, and we appreciate what you did. Unfortunately, there is some remains of the piling out there. Of course, when the bridge is there, boaters could see it. Should have had a reflector there, but at least when the bridge was there was something people could see. Now it's hidden, so it's an obstruction of the waterways. But Newport Richie and Pasco County is going to put a boat ramp over there. All that area's got to be dredged out, because you can't get any kind of a vessel in and out of that boat ramp the way it is. So it's got to be dredged so they can clean that out when they dredge. In the meantime,
you don't do concrete demolition when you dredge.
Yeah, they can do that. They can pound it out, absolutely. They've had boulders, 2-ton boulders dredged out. So yeah, that's definitely something that they're going to have to clean that out. But in the meantime, Gary had mentioned to me he was going to put a marker out there, Thomas, and I was going to help him with that if he needed. And I think that's something that Gary, you guys want to do. I can help you get some kind of a post or marker out there with a reflector. So until that happens, the boaters can see it, because they are tearing up lower units on it right now.
Well, that's worrisome for me that we've created a hazard that people can't see the bottom of the water.
I notified the Coast Guard. It was on notice of mariners for a while. They did take it off. However, the obstruction's still there. It's in a river. It's not out in mainstream, so that's not a big concern of theirs. But for us, yeah, for people in Newport Richie, yeah, it is a concern.
Well, what does it take to get a marker on that thing?
Not much. Gary said he was going to do it, and I'd be happy to help him.
We can get to care of it tomorrow. I'll make sure they get the crews out there.
So I believe that Chief Gary was talking about doing it, and then something prevented him from doing it because he doesn't have the authorization. So I know he also notified the Coast Guard, and there was another one, maybe the Army Corps of Engineers, about taking care of it so he wouldn't get in trouble and the city wouldn't get in trouble for illegally marking something in the channel.
Well, they put a PVC marker out there, which we appreciate that, but it's gone. We can do the same thing, just like a 2-inch PVC. We can put a temporary marker in there.
Yeah,
Permanent marker, no, we can't do that. But we can put a temporary in until they do or until it's dredged.
I have a meeting with them first thing tomorrow morning.
Good.
So
Let me know. Give me a call,
Yep.
and if you need some help, be happy to help you.
Yeah, we just don't want people tearing their boats out. That's all.
I understand that there was, once a structure there that, deterred everybody from that area. So now when we excavated and took that out, and like I said, we were only contracted to take 16 inches out. I think we took more like almost 4 foot out of there.
Wow.
So even at low tide right now, so it was sticking up 2 foot above low tide. Now it's, 2 foot below low tide. And so there was an obstacle there that prevented people from going there. Now there's no obstacle there. It's open waters. So yes, we did put a marker in there, but there was a lot of litigation about it, dealing with Pasco County. Michael Smith was involved in it or whatever. Coast Guard. You had mentioned the other facility that was involved in engineering. They actually, Army Corps of Engineer, And so with everything being said, it was that the Coast Guard or the Army Corps of Engineers needed to do it. And so we just pulled everything out. So no more pipe there.
Well, we appreciate it. We have a Christmas lights boat parade coming up, you know, and there'd probably be alcohol involved in that, I think. So we need to make sure that that's marked so we don't disrupt that parade. That's one of my concerns because a lot of people have hit it. I know my prop guy's been busy.
Tom said he was going to look into that tomorrow.
Right. So we'll get a temporary marker in there until we get a Army Corps engineer. Don't move fast, but I think they'll probably have that dredged before Army Corps engineer does anything. So I'll work with them. We'll get a temporary marker out there and take care of it.
And there should not be any alcohol involved.
You're right.
For transparency reasons.
I'm not telling anybody to do it. I'm just saying this is what happens.
It's like telling people not to drink when they go to the
Yeah,
sandbar.
watching me and say, "Hey, Mom said there's going to be alcohol involved." So,
Well, it's not recommended by this
Yeah.
council by any means.
and I'm sure we'll be out there in full force to
I
prevent
don't
that.
condone alcohol consumption at all.
I will say too that when the bids came in, all the other bids were significantly higher than SC's too. So it's I think this price is probably.
No, I think overall, I think they did a good job.
They did a fantastic job.
I think they're good partners for us, and they do a lot of stuff for us. So I'd make a motion we approve the additional money to get them paid.
I'll second that.
Doesn't sound like they made much money on this project.
I got a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Try to give you all some gas money so we can try better next time.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Any further discussion? Any public comment? Seeing none, put to the vote. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, Jeff.
Mention, that, as we recognize what the city's doing, and you guys are doing an amazing job here, along with Newport Richey too, for our coastline here, so it's recognized. Thank you.
Thanks, Joe. We appreciate your partnership. Board business. Next up is old business. Is there any discussion of old business?
The property acquisition, did we get the three quotes for the appraisal on the property acquisition over at the waterfront?
Then we engaged an engineering company. I don't think we've gotten back yet the quote on how much it would cost to do the appraisals.
North Star is one who's doing the, North Star Incorporated is one who's providing us the quotes for 3 appraisals, and they said they'll have it before the 9th. So we have a CRA meeting scheduled for December 9th. We'll have them by then.
We discussed this, Andy. Also, you were going to work with maybe Newport Richey's realtor, whoever they deal with.
Yeah, I had 2 false starts with different realtors, and we ended up engaging North Star, sir, and they have a department that specializes in that. So
Good.
We're going through that now,
Thank you.
sir.
Any other
Thank
business?
you.
That was the latest on the Grand, US 19 Grand.
I got to get a follow up from our engineer. I know they were tasked by FDOT to provide a drainage schedule per the plan. So they estimated about 25 of their hours to get those calculations to FDOT. I have to find out if they've submitted those yet, but that's where we are.
I was thinking those were submitted and you're waiting on DOT again. They're still
No, that as far as I know, the engineer was still preparing the calculations to resubmit to DOT.
okay.
But I'll follow up, and I'll have a follow up for the next CRA meeting.
I know I ask you every time, but
No.
just sometimes things change. And that's something people are really interested in.
Okay. Yeah. Anything else? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
I got a motion to adjourn. Second, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Meeting adjourned.